Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a very sinister mistake you can make when it comes to selling. As of late, there was this one day my computer was acting up. It was slower than usual. And it just kept getting slower and slower until one day it stopped working. And by the way, this is one of the reasons you should back up your work. The computer was pretty good 2 weeks before, and then suddenly it just gets slow and it just stops working. Back up your work. When it stopped working like that, I was thinking, okay, I guess I should buy a new laptop. I need to post some posts today. This laptop is urgent. Now, if I go to a place like Amazon, it's probably going to have overnight delivery, so I won't get the laptop till the next day. I need to post posts for today. You know, I'll go to Best Buy. So eventually, I go to Best Buy, and by the way, if you're new to this brand, I've given a talk on Best Buy before, and it was not the best experience. Anytime I go to Best Buy, I'm always greeted by a dummy that does not know anything about how the Best Buy operations work. So I'm pretty much educating him rather than him educating me. So this time, when I'm walking into Best Buy, I'm getting somewhat nervous. I'm thinking, what if I have a similar experience as I had before? What if I'm trying to buy this laptop and the guy that is guiding me is a straight up buffoon? No, Armani, you're being paranoid. Something like that's not going to happen. It happened before, but today is a new day. So I go in and I'm looking around the laptops. As I'm looking around the laptops, ironically, what's happening is that I see a pool of people in blue shirts in a circle. The blue shirts are the Best Buy uniforms, and they're in a circle with one guy who's giving a speech. The speech was about how to sell properly to the customers. And this guy is basically saying, look, we're trying to assess their needs. We're trying to help them, not trying to sell them. We're trying to do X, Y, and Z, avoid that, blah, blah, blah. He's pretty much teaching these new workers how to sell. I thought, this seems pretty cool. And as I'm somewhat listening to what's happening, and I'm looking through the different laptops, there's a gentleman that walks towards me. It's an older gentleman, roughly around 65 years old. He has one of those masks on, and he's like, "Can I help you, sir?" I didn't think that he was someone that worked here. I thought he was also looking at the other laptops because he did not have a blue shirt like the other Best Buy guys. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a laptop. And mind you, I needed the laptop today, which meant that I am about a hot of a lead that you can possibly imagine. Fam, not to put any pressure on you, but if you do not get the sale, that means you are a grade A buffoon. You are not a good salesman, and they should fire you. So I'm over here talking to the guy. I'm telling him I need this, this, and this for my laptop. Give him the budget, the requirements, everything. And he's giving me this look like, it's very hard to assess someone's face when you can't see half of it. So I'm thinking that he's paying attention. He's just doing this. And eventually he's like, play video games? I was like, no, why? He's like, walk with me. And then he walks me to a different side of the laptops, and these laptops look very heavy. They look very different, and they are very expensive because the price tags are there. $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And he's like, look, son, I'll tell you this. These laptops right here, these are what we call video game laptops. If you ever want to play video games and you want a great experience, you want one of these laptops. And he begins babbling away for the next 5 minutes. And I'm trying to be polite. I'm like, and then he asks, so which one can I get you? I'm like, which one can you get me? Fam, I don't play video games. I already told you what I want. Help me with the laptop that I want. So I said it in a polite way. I was like, no. These are all fine, but it's not for me. I'm using my laptop for work predominantly, and I need X, Y, and Z. I gave him this command, and he came back with A, B, C. Hey man, what about these video game laptops again? And he's basically trying to sell me on it again with different words. I'm getting very annoyed at this point. I had to tell him at least 3 times, and each time getting more confrontational. Or the 3rd time I was like, look, I just told you, I don't want these, all right? I don't play video games. I hate video games, all right? Now come back here and show me which laptop meets my requirements. And now it's at a point where he's somewhat mopey. He really wanted to get the sell from the video game laptops. He doesn't quite want to sell me on what I want. And that's when things begin to make sense. This guy was not wearing the same exact shirts as the other guys in Best Buy. I'm assuming that this guy is a consultant. He's one of those salesmen for the video game laptops, and he is trying to sell me those video game laptops because he'll get a bigger commission. He may not get a commission based off of the laptops that meets my requirements. I'm not certain of this, but the way that he was behaving gave me that inkling. I'm like, man, this guy is not trying to help me out. He's trying to help himself out. And it got to a point where I'm thinking, something about this guy is giving me very bad feelings. This laptop is something that I'm going to be using for some time. I'm not getting much enthusiasm when I told him I don't want those video game laptops. You know what? I don't want to do business with this guy. I politely excuse myself and I leave. When I left, I thought about it again. I was one of the hottest leads that you could have possibly had right now, dude, and you blew it. Why did you blow it for, man? I really wanted to help you out. I was ready to pull out my wallet. Why did you blow it? He blew it because he was not listening. He should have been sitting with that pool of Best Buy folks listening to that salesman's speech. He was not trying to help me. He really was trying to help himself. He was not trying to assess my needs. He was planning exactly what he was going to say next. And that was the biggest sales mistake that you could possibly make. He was not trying to help. At times, people do want to purchase something, but they want to purchase something that is in correlation with their life. And when you cannot perceive that, or you can't ask questions to see what it is that they are trying to improve, what sort of thing that broke in their life that your product can serve with, then you're going to be like this idiotic old man who misses a sale that was pretty much hand-delivered to him. The biggest mistake you can make with sales is try to enforce your will upon someone else too much. Because don't forget, receipts are a thing. If you use salesmanship to convince someone to buy a video game laptop that they most likely don't need, they may buy it in the beginning stages just so you'll stop bothering them. But they have that receipt. After 1 day to 2 days passes on by, they realize that they have 90 days to return this video game laptop, and most of them will exercise that decision. Don't sell people stuff that they don't need. Sell stuff that are completely incongruent to their life. And you only know if it's incongruent to your life when you stop focusing on yourself so much and you focus on the lead that may be cold, medium, lukewarm, or hot. So thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel and apply these sales tips to your life.